Hello, everybody. This is Persephone. Welcome back, or just welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It is pretty awesome that anybody would want to spend some time with me on my little corner of YouTube, where I talk about planners, books, and tarot. Today is a planner video. Today we are talking about my passion planner. And I thought maybe we would just take a little walk through my passion planner, what it looks like, how I use it, how I'm still figuring out how to use it, because my life is constantly changing. And so my needs for my passion planner are constantly changing. And I'll show you how I deal with that. So without further ado, this is my passion planner. I got the koi pond this year. I think it is absolutely beautiful. I actually have a tattoo on my back with some lotus flowers and some koi fish, a little koi pond. So I freaking love this one. Love it. And I put the little green tabs on the side of it too. This year, I get the medium. To me, that is the Goldilocks sweet spot size. And I'll show you, I have the small in a daily planner that I occasionally use. So you can kind of see here the size difference between the small and the medium. A good friend of mine uses the small weekly and she loves it. I love the way she uses her planner. She's been really creative with it this year. I'm going to feature her and her planner in an upcoming video. But anyway, I digress. And then the large one is a big boy or a big girl, however you want to gender your planner. Yeah, I can't even fit it in the picture. Like, it's huge. I don't know the exact dimensions on it. I will tell you about the medium. The medium is about 7¼ by 10. And to me, it's perfect. It fits in most of my bags. I carry it with me, not everywhere, but like I carry it to work. I carry it to meetings, to my yoga classes. I take it. I just don't take it to the grocery store and the movie theater. But it goes pretty much everywhere else with me. So I'm going to go ahead. Let me just flip it over so you can see what the back looks like of this beautiful koi pond. It's so lovely. All right, I'm going to open it up. And we're just going to start at the beginning for those of you who might not be as familiar with the Passion Planner. Yeah, maybe you're looking for your perfect planner, and maybe this will help you decide on something, rule something out. We'll see. I'd like to know. So let me know. So you have, welcome to the Pash fam and some, different information they give you. How to use your passion planner. You can look through that. I'm not going to go into detail over that. I'm going to talk more about how I use my passion planner. So this I love. Uncover your compass, your core values. So this is the first year that I have fully done this, where I went through. You can probably, I think you might be able to see here in the video, it's kind of light color, but I used a pink highlighter and I just sort of highlighted everything that I went, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. Like it just kind of tugged at my, I don't know, tugged at something in me. So I went ahead and highlighted those. And then I sat with that for a few days probably. And then I did go through and I looked at all of these and I determined what things, and I didn't do it down here. They give you a space down here to choose your 3 core values. If you're struggling to narrow down your values, use the space below to group similar values together. Is there one value that can encompass the values of the group? So I did that. I just didn't do it down here. And I came up with 3 core values that stand out to me this year, and I journaled about them. For me, it was connection, authenticity, and personal fulfillment. And I wrote about them. I love this. And the beautiful thing about Passion Planner is so much of the content in their planners, like you can get a PDF, a free PDF of just this, whatever other planner you use, and you can do this if you don't use a planner. I had my best friend, I sent this to her, and she did it, and she found it immensely helpful in kind of figuring out what she wants her year and her life to kind of look like. Okay, so that is the core values. And then you have your passion roadmap. The first couple years I used the Passion Planner, I don't even think I did this. I started doing this a few years ago, and I love it. I don't always do lifetime goals. I mean, my 3-month goals can change from week to week. I've added things since I've done this. So anyway, you've got 3 months, 3 years, 1 year, your lifetime, and you do a little roadmap of those things. And then you pick one game changer goal, and you map out all the steps that you can take to get to that goal. And I make my game changer goal a 6-month goal, because as you get to, where is it? Am I thinking of, yeah. So mid-year, between June and July, you have another passion roadmap, and you go through the exact same thing. And you can see how much your idea of what you want has changed over that 6-month period, and what your new game changer goal is. Or, did you struggle with it the first time around and you're working on the same thing? So this is really nice. So anyway, I did my goal planning through the passion roadmap, my game changer goal. This is the first time ever in my life that I have done a vision board in my planner, and I didn't have a lot of resources at my disposal. I had a lot of stickers. I misused resources at work, and I printed a couple things out. So this is me and my best friend the last time we were hanging out at a little place we like to hang out together. She actually lives 3.5 hours from me, so it's tough getting together. And when we do, we live it up, let me tell you. So, and then 50 whole years of being awesome. This is the year I turn 50. So I think that's why I've gone a little nuts this year, taking on a lot of new things. I just kind of feeling like it's now or never. Let's do this. Like, let's freaking go. So that's what I'm doing. So you can go ahead and do a vision board in your planner. Now you can also, this is lovely. This is something that they added in recent years, this monthly habit practice. I used it last year for several months. This year, clearly I'm not really using it. I haven't decided if I'm going to use this yet. I may cover it with pictures. I may just leave it blank. I don't know yet what I'm going to do with it. It's really great. You can choose different habits each month. You can look at what one habit across the year looks like. You can do whatever you want with that. A lot of the habits that I track have to do with health and wellness, and I keep that in a separate planner. So right now I'm not doing anything with this. And there's 2 pages, obviously, so you get all 12 months. And then there's a 2026 and a 2027 overview. I don't find this super useful for me, but this is okay for putting in things that are happening in the year ahead. I will often, like, you can see highlighted dates, because I at one of my jobs, I do payroll. So this tells me, oh, I think I put in, I put in payroll. Oh, no. Sorry. I've done that in years past. This year, I did when I get paid at one of my jobs and when my husband gets paid the big bucks. He's got the main job in the house. That's what I did. Lighter yellow for mine, darker yellow for his, which I don't know if the camera's really capturing that. And then you get into your monthlies. And let me just show you a blank monthly before we start looking at things filled in. So this is what your monthly looks like in a passion planner, with the exception of it doesn't come with these. This would be just blank white. I got the washi tape that matches my planner, which I was very excited about. And I went through and I washied all of my months just to add a tiny bit of decoration. I'm not really a decorative planner, so, but I like a little bit of pretty where I'm not going to use the planner anyway. So anyway, this is what it looks like. You get this month's focus, personal and work, people to see, places to go, things to learn. You've got personal projects, work projects, and then you've got break it down, create a mind map of this month's game changer. So I don't always put these things to good use. I don't always use them the way they're intended. And I can change from month to month the way I use a section. And I'll go into that when we look at what I've already done. So this is what a weekly looks like. So you have this week's focus, good things that happened, personal to-dos, work to-dos, space of infinite possibility. I use this very different. I use this top part with the hourly space, broken down by half hours, to time block. Not time block so much as I get because I think time blocking, people think of like just giving yourself blocks of time to do specific things that you want to do. But I block in the events that I definitely have going on that are specific timed events, and I put them in there and I color code them, and we're going to look at that. So once we get to the end, it's falling to the end. Yeah. So you get dot grid pages, and I don't know if that's coming through, that those are dot grid. And then you get some blank pages. And I use dot grid pages. I'm not going to show you, but I do my bill tracking and I do passwords back there. And even though I have a code for my passwords so that if somebody just randomly found my planner, I don't know why somebody would steal a planner, but it would be pretty hard for them to decipher the code, but I know what the code means for what my passwords are. So anyway, I'm not going to show that on camera. So let's go back to January's monthly. Now, I think you can see on the video, I use a lot of whiteout. A lot of stuff went down this month that I needed to change. Specifically, you can see this first week, I was supposed to go spend with my best friend. She got COVID. So, I didn't get to spend New Year's Eve and, that time with her. So, lots of stuff changed. Yeah. So, don't be afraid of whiteout. You got to do what you got to do. Unless you're using erasable pens. I don't tend to like them. I can't get a fine enough tip on an erasable pen. It's not the kind of ink I like. I worry about, what if I do leave my planner in the car? Like the erasable ink and highlighters, they'll disappear in the heat. I just don't want to mess with any of that. So, so I consider January a practice month in pretty much everything. So it was in my planner for sure. Like I'm trying to figure out, I just relaunched this channel. I mean, it's basically brand new. So I'm trying to figure out how to integrate that into my planner. And you can see here, I have videos I'm filming, videos I'm posting. I don't know if that's going to work. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing that. I do have a separate calendar that I'm using to kind of figure out my YouTube stuff. But yeah, still a work in progress. But on my monthly calendar, this is where any timed appointments, work that I have to be there at a specific time. You see, I have chair yoga every Tuesday at 10 o'clock at a retirement community. I freaking love doing that. Who would have thought? But it's my favorite. And then Tuesday evenings, I teach kind of more regular, but still a gentle yoga class. So you see, I have a haircut. I have laser tattoo removal coming up. Various things. That's what I keep track of on my monthly. Sometimes I'll put monthly projects in. I never broke down my mind map of this month's game changer. I just wrote relaunch YouTube channel, which I'm doing it right now. So there you have that. And then let's look at some weeklies. This one was a hot mess. Hoping there's nothing on here that's shouldn't be showing. I think this is fine. So this is an example of what a week looks like in my planner. This is an example of what a week looks like in my planner. So I'm going to show you what I use. So I go ahead and let me see if I can find it. Yes, I can. Okay. I black out what's written in here. I black it out with this Zig calligraphy. I hope you can see that on the video. Zig memory system. It's a calligraphy, pure black pen. I got this quite some time ago from YouTube. It's a 5.0 millimeter and 2.0 millimeter. But I use the fatter tip. Let's see. Yeah, we can see that. I use that fatter tip to go ahead and black out what's already written on here. And then I just use a gel pen. And let me see if I can find the one I've been using this year. It's oh boy. This is me being prepared, guys. Okay. Yep. Not finding it. But it is a Geth pen. This is the brand, but I use the 0.6, not the 0.8. I don't know what I did. I better find my 0.6. And I use the white gel pen to write in what I want. So this past week, as of the time you're seeing this, you can see I break down my life into personal, Boggs is one of my jobs, Plantiful, that's my business, which I didn't do much for this week, YouTube, and Well Life, that's one of my jobs. So then, and right here, because I work entirely on my own from home, I use this box to track my hours when I work for the Well Life. And then I just submit every 2 weeks what my hours are. But sometimes I'll work for an hour and a half. Sometimes I'll just work for 5 minutes. So when I'm done, I look at how long I've worked and I write it in there. So far that's been a really good system for me. Also a new system. Lots of new systems in here this year. I decided to put up in today's focus box. You can see under the date, you have a today's focus. I decided to put when I'm publishing and when I'm recording for my YouTube channel. So right now, that's what I've landed on. Again, I don't know if that's going to stay. I've been doing this for a long time. I just write in pencil. up at the top what my husband's schedule is when he's going to be at work. And then everything you see on this dated, I'm sorry, not dated. Well, yes, it is dated. The timed hourly, I put whenever I am going to work at Boggs, it's in green. And I write in what time I'm working. Now, if I'm doing like teaching yoga, that's this color. I don't know what, it's like a bluish, it's like a teal, I guess, turquoisey color. That's the color I use for teaching yoga. Pink is what I use when I have more social, just pleasurable events. Like I went to Barnes and Noble and out to lunch with my niece today. So we planned that. And then I have something going on tomorrow. So, which I just blocked it off. I didn't even write in what's going on. And then once I fill all of that in, and I'll highlight some things at the top, like when my husband gets paid and when I have to submit payroll for work and things like that. And then I will pencil in to-dos, things I want to get done that day, but they are relatively flexible. I pencil them in. And I did this last year. This really worked for me, this system. The general gist of this system is what I used. I finished a 200-hour yoga teacher training last year in 2 months. And the way I did it was blocking everything. I did it all in pencil, all of my things. And there I was using gray to do my live classes for that yoga teacher training. And then what I wanted to accomplish, but didn't have to accomplish necessarily, or at a particular time, I would put in pencil. So this is what I did last year. So this system really works for me. This week, I mean, you can see last week looked a little bit different. I was trying something for YouTube. I was like, I don't know about that. So I don't often have a lot of personal things to take care of things that don't fit into one of these other categories or business things. The most amount of things I have to keep track of doing are for my job at Boggs. I am the office manager and yoga teacher there, nutritionist, although not a lot of people want that service, sadly. But anyway, those are the things that I do there, and just started. I just finished Thai yoga massage practitioner certification, and so I'm actually going to be doing that out of the office. It's a chiropractic office, so a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff I got going on this year, guys. So yeah, so I have I need a lot of space for that. Again, this could end up changing how I do this. I could have room if I wanted for stickers down here or something, but you can see that I plan very functionally. I will put down here, I'll pencil in what I plan to eat. I didn't plan to go hungry this day. I just changed my mind and erased it and never put anything in there. But it helps give me an idea of what I was planning to eat and what I need to have meal prepped, things like that. Because I don't plan that in my food tracking planner. I just write down what I did eat. So what I tentatively plan to eat, I just pencil in down here. So yeah, so that, and I don't know, sometimes I use this for a focus. Sometimes I'll write in my morning routine up here. I suspect when next you see me, things will have changed. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, and the back here, Let me see. I didn't show this. It does come with a really nice pocket and some stickers in the back, which is really nice. And I tend to stuff a lot of stuff in the pockets and in the back. So there's some stuff about payroll back there. So I want to be careful about that. But let's see. Is there anything? I mean, I feel like that's really the gist of how I use it. And I don't wait. If I've got timed specific things, I have a consult with my tattoo artist on the 12th. I have my mom's 70th birthday dinner on the 21st of February. So I started putting these things in. I put things in the monthly as they get scheduled. And then my work schedule and things like that can be pretty flexible. It changes depending what I've got going on. So I don't always write that in ahead of time. I will usually write that in about a week ahead of time or something. But this planner, as you can see, this is really useful, I think, for someone who has a lot of different things going on that they need to keep track of. Color coding is so useful. If you're a very visual person, to just glance down and I just get a good sense of what I'm doing with my time when I color code my planner. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of writing on a page and it gets overwhelming. This makes a lot of sense to my brain. And you can use whatever colors work for you. I have kind of my own, what makes sense in my brain, but that might be totally different for you. So you can color code however it makes sense to you. But I feel like this would be good, like, say you're taking some college classes and you have a job and a side hustle. Like, this would be really good for keeping track of that. If you have kids, I imagine you could use this to track the different activities that your kids have going on, color code for different kids and when they have what going on, what's your stuff, what's their stuff, things like that. I don't have kids, so that is not a thing for me. So I can't tell you for sure how that works. But yeah, I love the Passion Planner. I love the paper. It's a really, like, and especially, like, I went ahead and blacked these out ahead of time, but there's no ghosting through those black calligraphy markers with my highlighters, nothing. It's a really nice quality paper. And I just remembered as I was flipping, there are these beautiful monthly reflections that I started doing last year for the first time. And it's really quite nice to sit down at the end of the month and look back through my planner and see, okay, what was a memorable part of this past month? And then I'll look through and I'll go, oh yeah, I visited Alicia. Or yeah, I got to do this great. The other night we had a dance party, a yoga class. You know, that was great. And I get to kind of reflect on those things. 3 lessons you learned. Are you happy with how you spent your time this month? Things like that. So this is a really beautiful end of the month review. And I don't use up all the space. Sometimes I'll just put what or who are you especially grateful for this month. I'll just put a name, you know, something like that. But if you like to journal a lot, there's quite adequate space for you to journal about these questions. So I think, I do believe I did not skip anything. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer any questions you have about the Passion Planner or my experience with the Passion Planner, really. I mean, you can go to the Passion Planner website and find all the information you want about the planner itself. But if you have questions about how I use it, what my experience with it is, please feel free to drop a comment. And do you use a Passion Planner? I decided to focus a lot of my planner attention for this channel on the Passion Planner because like some of the other planners that I have used or that I do use that I'm going to talk about on this channel, there's a ton of content on YouTube about them. I find there's not a lot about, not as much as I would like for the Passion Planner out there. So I was hoping to be a voice for that. And hopefully at some point, you know, I would love to be a Passion Planner ambassador and be able to give you a discount code and all of that. We'll see, guys. This is brand new. So anyway, let me know what planner you use if you have any questions about how I use the Passion Planner. And next time I will talk to you, I do believe I am going to talk to you on my next planner video about my Laurel Denise Nancy. So stay tuned for that, and I will talk with you soon. Bye, folks.